right, people, are you ready for some power moves? Say yes, say yes, say yes. Thank you. My name is Lucio. I hold a master degree in communication. Now, it's funny that I usually say this to get some authority going on my side. But you gotta wonder, in a room of professors and PhDs, probably it's not that helpful. I should have thought about that before. My specialty is about social intelligence, emotional intelligence, social dynamics, and let's not be shy about it, power dynamics. Now, why would you want to be powerful in your presentation? It's a fair question, right? Are you familiar with the saying, the medium is the message? Have you ever heard about it? What does that mean to you? The medium is the message means that when you are presenting, you are the message. If you come across as weak, insecure, untrustworthy, your message, your research, your years of working will be wasted. If you can go on stage and come across as trustworthy, authoritative, powerful, then your message will be powerful, credible, and it will land on the audience and have an impact. That's why it's important and crucial that you embody your message and you delivered it in a positive way. Now, my presentation is a little bit advanced. However, they will help you to get in a mindset that will get you thinking about social dynamics, emotional intelligence, authority, and power as well. This is the agenda. Take a look at it, and we'll get going soon. The first item is take your time to walk on stage, and I will show you a video.
Christopher Johnson McCandless.
Then he can manage, but then you are fighting against your first impression, right, which is always difficult. And this connects to your presentation a little bit. Now, of course, this is a movie, so it's exaggerated. Nobody will go on stage jumping, right? However, many people, some of you did it as well, will rush to go on stage. That communicates that you're under pressure, you're not very confident with yourself, and you're not very comfortable. Now, there is power and emotional intelligence often lies in between. You don't want to go on the extreme. Making people wait is a typical power move, and I call it a dickhead power move. You let people wait so you increase your importance and you communicate, I can let you wait, I'm in power. You don't want to do that. You want to strike a balance. Who would you listen to the most? Who is the person here who has more authority?
The one on the left.
Yes, why? It's for a plethora of reasons, among which the fact that he's walking on a red carpet for sure. There are other cues, other power cues as well. Number one.
He didn't stick his head too far.
Awesome, yes, perfect. Did you connect because I said it earlier? Wonderful, yes. Now, you want to be friendly, warm, and welcoming. However, when your friendly message are too many or too exaggerated, too much friendliness can become submissiveness. That's why you want to stay in that sweet spot. Now, there were two signs here that were submissive. One, sticking his hand way too far. Two, way in advance. You want to avoid both. When you walk on stage, walk until 1 meter, and then you stick your hand out. Comfortably shake, smile, and start. The other one connects to the upper end. Are you guys aware of the upper end? Yes. Anybody else? You know the Nazi salute, right? We're not gonna do the Nazi salute, don't worry. But try to do this. Try it. Is it powerful with your hand like this? No, not like that, the other way. Yeah, we can go in jail, I've been told in Germany. It's not powerful, right? It's so weak that it's ridiculous. That's the upper hand. This is a sign of power. This is a sign of submissiveness. Now, why is this important? Somebody will try to give you the upper hand, and they will try to shake your hand like this. In normal, friendly, everyday situation, you don't want to shake hand like that. What can you do when people shake hand like this? Which happens often, by the way. Alan Pease, a famous researcher on body language, found out that more than 70% of male executives will try to give you the upper hand. You can do a few things. If you are very bold, you could not shake his hand. You could just say, don't give me the upper hand, man, or don't play those games with me. Other option, you can shake his hand and then cup his other hand on top like this. Third option, you can grab his upper arm and shake him like this. Something you can also do is to look at them a little bit aggressive. Now, you never want to be aggressive unless somebody is aggressive with you first. So you look at him as if to say, I know what game you're playing, man. On stage, it's a little bit difficult, and if you start playing these games, then people can think you are a power mover and a game player, and you don't want to do that. So a nice technique could be to sit on the left side of the room, so that even if somebody tries to give you the upper hand, they will see your hand on top, so it doesn't matter which direction it is. This, by the way, is a game that politicians play all the time. They see where the camera is, and they try to go on this side so that they can have the upper hand. This is also because for men, it would be good to walk with the hand of their girlfriend in this direction. Unless you're in Germany and you are for full parity of gender, in which case, up to you how you want to hold hand. However, if you want to come across as powerful and as an authority, pay attention to this. By the way, I am never recommending that you give upper hand to others. This is just for you to learn so that people do not take advantage of you. It's not for you to take advantage of others. I want to make this clear. She said before, Lucio is the Machiavellian. Indeed, I take care of these things, but the way I take care of them is that so nobody can be taken advantage of, and we can all meet our potential. So when you shake hands, when you do it, perfectly vertical. 2 shakes, smile, and then you're ready to start.
Speaker Tom Bilyeu. Thank you.
Love you too. Thank you for that. That was awesome. Jay Shetty, the man. Yeah, Jay Shetty offers to intro you, you take it. That's just life lesson number 1. All right, so.
We will talk about it later as well. Another move that is done is this. He enters, and then he does this. It's a very small gesture, but it communicates fear in a subtle way. Why? When you're standing in the stage, the fear comes from the people, so it's frontal. The moment that people try to angle their body language like this is the same as the famous closed body language. It's exactly the same, just that people pay less attention to it. But imagine that the audience has a beam coming at you, and you don't want to send it away, and you don't want to stand to the side of it, especially in the entrance. Stand in front of the people. And you mention it. So the first thing that he does, he says, great guy, and blah, blah, blah. This is good up to a certain point. I think this is especially important when you are being introduced by somebody who is very famous, who is more advanced than you are, and then, especially when they are nervous, people tend to start gushing about the person that just introduced them. Oh, thank you so much, he's such a genius, he's such a luminary, he's a Nobel Prize winner, it's so good to share the stage with him. When you do that, you give a lot of power to the person who just preceded you, but at the same time, unluckily, you make yourself small. So if you need to say something good about the person who introduced it, but do it quickly and briefly. And your tonality should also be neutral. Thank you so much. The guy's a legend. Now let's start with my topic. That will be the tonality you want to have. You don't want to say, oh, the guy's such a legend, thank you so much, because then you lose power and authority, and your message loses power and authority. Clear? This is about going up at the end of the sentence. Imagine if I had come here and I started saying, hi guys, my name is Lucio, I'm a sociologist, and that communicates nervousness, fear, lack of authority. Now, this is one of those basics that I was mentioning that's part of the 20% that makes your 80%. And it's important that you get it right. Even experienced speakers do it wrong. Starting neutral is difficult and you will not manage, so you want to do the opposite. Take a pen, imagine yourself a conductor, the conductor of your own life. And you do this, start speaking, and you go down at every sentence. That should get you used to stay more neutral, and this is very important. Now as the last one, we mentioned a little bit before, and we added this one since I saw that most people don't do the slides well. The do's and don'ts of the slides. There are 3 important pitfalls in using slides. One of them is the triangle of death that I mentioned before. When you have the slide here and you are teetering between the slide and the people, and when you stand in between, you say in Italian, you're neither fish nor meat, you're nothing. Either you look at the slides and then you move out, or you look at the audience. If you stay in between, you lose all credibility and it looks terrible, frankly. So learn your slide, use a lot of picture like he did, or then step outside. You cannot do both. Just please don't do this. Second one is that when people have too many words on the slide and they tend to say, read here, now speaking. As you can see, now I'm speaking. And even if you don't say it, people still have a tendency to read it. Now sometimes people ask, how many words is too many? 1 word is too many. Ideally, you will have no words in there if you want to have a proper, strong, powerful presentation where the audience is raptly listening at you. From then on, the less you have, the better it is. The more picture you have, the better it is. If you have a lot of words, give audience time to read the words. The way we process writing is in a different part of the brain where we process the verbal messages. So people cannot do both. They get lost. They either do one or they do the others. But since you're also talking and reading, they get distracted. So they don't do either in the end, and you lose them all. Give them time to read, and then you speak. Don't do them both. One was don't move. 2, don't have too much writing. And the third one, yes, you're right, which we also mentioned at the beginning, is the taxing on the brain. Because once we stick with one mode, whether it's reading, verbal, moving, playing, then moving to another, the brain needs to do a little bit of a switching. So you don't want to switch too quickly. So if they were reading, ideally you will help them smooth the transition by saying something which is light on the brain, such as you don't start with your technical description or product, but if they finish reading, then maybe you can simply say, all right guys, you done reading, ready to start? And now you get the full attention. Now they've done this switch. So those are the 3 things. Don't move around. Don't have too many writings. If you have, don't talk and let them read, and give them time to switch from reading to listening.